Hungarian walnut tort is a luxurious three-layer cake with a mocha whipped cream filling that is just absolutely extraordinary. And you will need to have 3 9-inch layer cake pans and butter them, line them with rounds of wax paper or parchment, and then dust all over with fine dry breadcrumbs. And then just have those ready before you actually begin making the batter. For the batter, you will need 12 ounces of ground walnuts and 3 ounces of fresh breadcrumbs. And you will need 12 eggs separated, and here are 12 yolks. And I'm going to start by beating the yolks just by themselves at high speed until they become quite thick and pale. Start on a little low speed to get the mixing going, and then increase the speed to high. And then you see how nice and thick and lemon colored the yolks are, and then reduce the speed to medium, and then gradually add half a cup of sugar. Let each addition get incorporated before you add the next. And then once all of the sugar is added, you're going to want to stop the mixer, scrape the bowl, and then beat the yolks again at high speed for about 5 minutes until they become very, very thick and form a slowly dissolving ribbon. And then add the zest of 1 lemon, and I zested the lemon with one of those wonderful raspers, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And then we'll just beat this in briefly, and then what we're going to need to do is transfer these yolks to another bowl, and what I like to use is a large wide bowl like this, because the whites are going to be beaten and then folded into the yolks in this nice large wide bowl. So with the clean bowl, pour the 12 egg whites into the bowl, add the ½ teaspoon of salt, and then start beating on a low speed. Increase to medium, and you want to beat until you can see traces of the beater in the whites. In other words, the whites will turn opaque, but they won't be stiff. You'll just be able to see little traces of wires that the wires leave in the whites as they get thicker. We're almost there. Can you see? You can see traces of the beaters. You can see those little lines radiating out. And then when that happens, just gradually add the remaining 1/4 cup sugar, just about a tablespoon or so at a time. Beat for a few seconds between additions. And then once all the sugar is added, you want to increase the speed to medium-high, and then just beat for another minute or two until the whites form stiff peaks that curl slightly at their tips. Now we have our yolks, we have our whites, we have the walnuts and the breadcrumbs all mixed together. So take about 1/4 of your whites, just plop them right on top of the yolks, and then take about 1/4 of your ground walnuts and breadcrumbs, and you'll notice that this is a fairly moist mixture from the crumbs. And then just fold everything together very gently with broad strokes. This goes together very quickly, but you must be gentle, and having this wide bowl is really very helpful to folding thoroughly and to getting a minimum of breaking of the air bubbles in the whites. The last of the whites, and the last of the walnut crumbs. And at this point, this is the only time that you really want to be very thorough to mix everything together. You need to divide the batter among your 3 prepared pans. To level the batter, just rotate your pans very gently on the counter. Notice I'm not going to spread the top even with a spatula because I might break some bubbles. Just like that. And then into the oven they go. and they'll bake for 20 to 25 minutes until a cake tester inserted into the layer comes out clean, and when you press the center of the cake layer, it'll spring back gently. Don't be surprised when these cake layers settle. They will settle quite a bit to about half their height. Take one of your cake layers, careful, and set it on the cake plate and make sure that the wax paper strips are just under the edge. And then take about a cup, just estimate this, about a cup of the icing, and then just spread it around. And then take another cake layer, top side up, center it as best you can. Take another cup or so of the icing, and then just spread that. Again, it should be a fairly thick layer. And then there's the third layer, and you see how nice and high it becomes, because even though the layers have sunk somewhat after baking, the whipped cream gives it a lovely amount of volume. And here's the last of our icing, or filling, or frosting, or whatever you want to call it. It's just absolutely scrumptious, and it does not have to be smooth or even or anything like that, because we're going to garnish this with some coffee beans. You can decorate it, any way you wish, but I think having the dark light contrast is always very appealing. And there you have it. And then what you want to do now is just carefully tug on these strips by the short end. See, I'm tugging it towards me, rotating the cake plate as I do so. And there's a little smidgen of cream right there. But there you have it, Hungarian walnut tort in all its glory. Enjoy.